Hi, everybody. This is Merle M. Singer, the Relationship Miracle Worker. I can help you work miracles, your own miracles in your own life. Absolutely. Well, today, this is episode 12, as a matter of fact, and this is episode 12 of Merle's Pearls. So, I've been married over 50 years. Amazing. To the same man. Happily, actually. I must know something about relationships. For real. So, I have a book. You can see it in the background, Cracking the Relationship Code. And today's topic is from page 28. It's the section on dating, and but the topic applies across the board. However, the question is probably most relevant to dating and actually sometimes to marriage. Because the question is, when is it time to move on? Every relationship doesn't turn out like paradise. So how are you going to know if this is one? I can't believe it. I come online and I decide that feels better. So when are you going to know that you should move on? Because it seems okay. I'm going to give you a for instance. From like way back before I was married. I was dating a guy who's a very nice person, and he had a good job, and he was nice to me. And it didn't happen for me. I kept saying to myself, what are you complaining about in your head? Well, are you just afraid of commitment? That must be it. Every time, and that's the thing we worry about. Every time a relationship doesn't work, we say, oh my gosh, I must be afraid of commitment. Because, he was a nice guy. And he made a reasonable living. All those things were really good. And I just said no. I couldn't do it. And when I dated after that and got married and I looked back, I said, oh, I wasn't afraid of commitment. He just was almost the right guy. Almost doesn't count in not in romantic relationships. It's either got to be on target or forget about it. So if you have a relationship that's almost, and now I'm talking about dating, because it's a whole different situation, it's a whole different mindset when it comes to marriage. But when it comes to dating, you haven't committed, you're in the process of deciding if this is appropriate, and if it's almost right, it's not right. And that's when you have to trust yourself. That's when you have to believe, no matter what your mother says, no matter what your girlfriends say, if it doesn't connect for you, then you're the one that's going to spend a lifetime with this person. I'm talking about over 50 years. That's a long time. I needed to hear that. Yes, almost is not the same as on target. So another thing that is a way to judge if it's time to move on or not is, how does this person make you feel? if the person makes you feel like, you're not quite good enough, like they really love you and they really want to have sex with you and they really like being with you, except you're overweight, except you don't cook well, except your apartment's too neat, except your apartment's too messy, something, or except that you have kids. There's always an except. If you are going with a person and that person makes you feel like you're terrific, except for you're that person's almost. Who wants that? I don't think so. That's really important because, and you have to know that if that person finds you almost perfect, that's about that person. It's not about you. Because here's my little conversation with you. Between you and me, I was going to say you are perfect, but none of us are perfect. But you're perfectly imperfect. I'm perfectly imperfect. And somebody's going to take me as I am, or I'm not going to take them. So be really careful about how you feel. And I think it's important to know that you are perfectly imperfect and that person needs to find you absolutely perfect for them. Or you're not, or they're not perfect for you. Now that's the situation when you're dating. I think I'm going to save the idea of when is it time to move on with when you're married. I'm going to do that next week. Because it's a whole different set of circumstances. You've already chosen, you've already found him fabulous or found her fabulous, and now, some years or some months or some whatever down the line, you're second guessing yourself. That's a different, we'll do that next week. But for dating, it's really important. I think the two major things that I want to get across to you is that dating situation has got to make you feel really good. It's got to make you feel like, oh my gosh, this person just is absolutely crazy about me. Now, okay, and that's true for the men and the women, but for the women, you have to be careful that he's not just being nice to you until he gets you in bed. Because that does happen. And sometimes, you just know that that's what happened and you move on. And Christina says, my mom told me that when you're dating, that it was as good as it gets. She was right in some ways. If you are having trouble when you're dating, it's probably not going to get better. Yes, your mom is wise. That's absolutely true. It is as good as it gets because, as natural as you are and as honest as you are and as real as you're representing yourself, meaning both peoples in the relationship, you are at your best. If you're not at your best, then when will you ever be? So if that best doesn't quite click for you, then have the courage to say goodbye. Don't settle. Because yes, it's true that sometimes you can really feel lonely when you're not in a couple, when you're not in a relationship. But if you're in a bad relationship, that's the worst kind of lonely. And it's so much easier to maneuver when you're still dating and be able to be a little more clear about, okay, this is not on target. It's close. But it's not in the bullseye. So I have to move on. And trust that there is somebody else. If this isn't quite right, then just jump off the cliff and trust that Providence will send you the right person to be in your life. I think I said it. And remember, you have to make that person feel good, and you will if it's the right person. And if that person makes you feel good, that's really important. And honor yourself, honor your intuition, honor what you deserve. You deserve what you want. And don't say, oh, well, I'm not being fair to him, or I'm not. Here's your chance to be fair to yourself. Yes, that's it. That's what I'm saying to you. You can really feel lonely when you're married to when it's not right. Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm glad. It makes me happy that if just one or two people that can hear it, and it just clicks at the right moment, that makes me feel good. That's the gift you give to me. So trust yourself. Find somebody that hits the target for you and makes you feel good. And we'll talk about if you really feel lonely when you're married. We'll talk about that next week. Next week it will be, is it time to move on when you're married? So I have to remember this. Find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram under Merle M. Singer or Merle Singer. On Facebook, it's my professional page or business page or whatever, Merle M. Singer. Go there and like it if you would. I'd appreciate it. And like me anytime, because I like you. And check out, oh yes, in the mornings, I don't know, Monday mornings, Monday is my Facebook Live time. Monday mornings is Monday morning with Merle and Patty. And we have fun together. So that's a different kind of dynamic. And we also give some fabulous relationship advice. Have a great evening. Take care, everybody. Bye.